Today I am going to read an article from Times of India editorial page. Read along with me or listen carefully. So let's get started. Crime and crisis in education. Rajasthan's paper leak scandal is the latest of many. We need to understand students are highly exploitable when they take exams or apply for government jobs, thanks to a yawning supply-demand mismatch. Umber Habib. Paper leak scandals are so common these days that they no longer raise eyebrows. Still, the arrest of former Rajasthan's Public Service Commission member for allegedly providing a leaked question paper of the 2021 sub-inspector recruitment stands out because the persons he provided it to were the daughter and son who ended up topping the test. Young Indians are confronted with great bottlenecks at two key stages of their life. At both, they are handed over to the coaching industry, and even then, corruption endures because a yawning gap between supply and demand endures. The first is during high school, when they undertake coaching to prepare them for the admission test to institutions of higher education. The second is at the end of their regular education, when they plan to apply for jobs in the administrative services and the public sector. In July, when water flooded a basement in Delhi, it took the lives of 3 students who were studying there. The sorrow over this tragedy has been accompanied by anger against the responsible authorities. The municipality, the government, and the management of the coaching institute that ran a library in the basement. It was evident that there was negligence from all. At the same time, protesting students reminded everyone that this was not the first loss of life due to an accident in a coaching center. The question is how we got here and whether physical safety is the only issue at hand. How did the coaching industry come to occupy entire localities and even towns? How did the annual revenue of the coaching industry in India reach an estimated level of rupees 58,000 crore, about 3 times the annual budget of all IITs and AIIMS combined? This dramatic rise in the fortunes of the coaching industry is closely tied to government policies of the last 20 odd years. In this period, government has stepped back from its duty to provide sufficient and affordable education to the people of India. The draft National Education Policy of 2019 stated that in 2017-18, public expenditure on education was only 2.7% of GDP, and concluded that it needed to be doubled over 10-year period. However, the final NEP document deleted these estimates and promises. Government now demands greater output from institutions while continually reducing support. Alongside the drive to root all admissions through conceptual understanding and creativity in favor of memorizing solution manuals. When IITs adopted a strategy of manufacturing questions harder than the coaching institutes were training for, it was self defeating because it became even more difficult for students to succeed without coaching. Still, coaching was effectively confined to professional streams like engineering and medicine. This wall has been demolished by the forced adoption of the Common University Entrance Test CUET course all disciplines and uses only multiple choice questions. With 3 years experience of CUET, we see that if it does not test anything more than memorization of facts and often test for obscure facts of little consequence. Thus, it makes school education essentially irrelevant. Thus, it makes school education essentially irrelevant for a student's admission to the next level. Our students are forced to abandon a rounded education for narrow training. This training gets a few of them into their preferred institutions but deprives all of them of the general skills that are required for success in university. Coupled with the ongoing dilution of university curricula, this creates a feeder for the second stage of coaching. Higher education is facing its own onslaught. As an example, consider the fourth year that has been added to the undergraduate degree and which NEP calls the preferred option for students. Even only even if only half the students opt for the fourth year, this college's future load comes from the requirement that the fourth year be devoted to research, which calls for additional infra. Government has made it clear that colleges will not receive extra grants to cover these costs. So, the only realistic way for institutions to conform is to drastically increase fees. Net effect is to restrict good public education to a privileged class. While some of these strains lie in the future, the path has already turned in this direction. Coaching is inevitable when there is a bottleneck to the next level. In India, this bottleneck is especially severe. This year, over 24 lakh students competed for just 1 lakh MBBS seats, of which only half were in government colleges and hence affordable to most. Similarly, 11 lakh students registered for UGC NET for a total of 4,000 fellowships and 4,000 certificates of eligibility for lecturer position. What is even more unfortunate in India is that coaching is no longer supplements the regular education but supplants it. It becomes a full-time activity for the students, often isolated them away from friends and family. This makes the students especially vulnerable to exploitation and to a life of instability and apprehension, straining their physical and mental health. A generation is being lost, and it is not by accident, nor is the corruption. The writer is a professor of mathematics at Nagar.